I received a answer from the state in the federal lawsuit that I filed, federal complaint, and I'll post the papers, my website blog, excuse me, going slow, and I'll link that blog post in below this YouTube video. YouTube doesn't give me pennies from heaven unless the videos, my videos are at least 8 minutes long, and I don't say anything too terribly upsetting. I suppose this is a controversial topic, but I'm just talking straight about it, so should be okay. Okay, so I got the answer from the state. I mean, this is just a matter of fact that, when I filed the complaint, I put on there compulsion. It's what I was seeking, and it said on the cover sheet, and it said, are you demanding a trial by jury? And I just kind of put in there as needed. Well, I didn't get, they're supposed to answer in 3 weeks. I don't get any answer. I'm thinking, it's kind of similar to going to the police department, which I did. And, guys, this is illegal as heck. And you all are in default of your sworn duty. And not a peep from the chief of police. Well, a little bit of that history. The sergeant in the records department contacted me and said, "Oh, the detectives are not going to investigate this matter." And I filed a written statement. It's always different words. Excuse me. So all right. I went to the state court. Asked for an injunction, got denied 7 times, 3 attempts, but you can do multiple tries in each filing, and so got denied 7 times, and then I went to the federal court. Now, when I'm laying down thinking about this, and I think, Eric, what is it? I mean, I've been working on this, I say 64 years, because there's a thread there. To be sure, and so the camel's back was already broken. But to use that idiom, I would have to cite Dr. Sally Johnson, who did the court-ordered psychiatric evaluation of Ted Kaczynski, and so the mother. I'd said this before. The mother tells exactly where it started, and Dr. Johnson is sitting across from roughly 170 pounds of sekala, meaning Dr. Kaczynski, and she says, "No known sekala." And I thought, well, you son of a gun. I mean, that is honoring your consortium at the expense of all children. And I'm like, oh, not cool. Because, in my writing, Jesus and the Unabomber, it's a message that's trying to come through. Jesus is from the 8-day-old child that's in him still. And with Ted, it's a 9-month-old child. And so then to cut that message off at the knees or in its entirety is just beyond the pale. Okay, so I think I said this already, I did answer the state. So this error, whether it's in religion or it's in academia, it's the same error. And, because it's the same brain, whether we're in church or or doing our research and development, or whatever you call it. You're limited by the same. We are limited by the same brain. We carry the same brain around all the time. So this error is a reductionist error. It doesn't matter if it's in academia or religion. If it's we produce these scriptures or reports, peer reviewed or not, whatever. It's printed, and this is graven. In the biblical sense, it's begin to worship this graven material, and I wouldn't say that reductionism isn't useful. No, it advances science. It should advance religion, and I think it used to. These scriptures that are age old were once the original author was gone, or the original speaker, a committee kind of takes over, and then it's parsing and parsing and parsing and checking. Members of the committee, is this working? Let's move forward. And so it was at one time allowed to, I think, be refined. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was wholesale changes in it generally, but anyway, it's so that's that. So when you get to this reductionism, you get to this observation that some old men were generally smokers and maybe having economic issues and access to bathing, or they were just unkempt or just neglected, whatever, depression or God only knows, that they have more incidence of penile cancer and, excuse me, which I suppose starts in the foreskin. Don't know if that's always the case. I guess that's in this context that's the case. So somebody goes, "Oh, look at this observation. Let's circumcise babies." And I'm going, "Wait a minute. You've over-reduced and trespassed by over-reducing." So this is what I mean by they are reductionist. Okay. I think that is, I should have a timer here. 8 minutes. Thank you. See the paperwork on my website. Or even additional note, in the case of Dr. Johnson, I should say it was kind of, maybe it wasn't it was a combination of the consortium and also the zeitgeist. At that point, nobody wanted to hear that about the Sekula. Now, I've also been puzzled. I've emailed Sally. I probably wasn't very happy when I did it, but never heard anything back. And that she just intended another interpretation of no known Sekula. And I've said, well, what does that mean? No known Sekula? Is that the same as unknown? Unknown Sekula? Is there a difference between those two phrases? Dr. Johnson wasn't there when the year Ted was born. The mother was there. The mother is the reliable witness. And Dr. Sally Johnson wasn't there, or she didn't get to observe it under a microscope, or there's not enough of a sample size in double-blind studies and all of this. But good Lord, how many times? Even the CDC, of course, now has a page for adverse childhood events. And any psychologist worth their weight in cotton or is, knows that the articles I linked on the homepage at broadfork.com, you know, association with schizophrenia, association with, which in the case of TED is intermittent and fleeting and all of these words, and association with bipolar disorder. And this is what the CDC is trying to say in their adverse childhood events page. Oh, but even them, oh, we weren't studying, whoever, there was a particular other group that I think did the study that the CDC relied on for that page. Oh, we weren't looking at circumcision. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. The elephant in the hospital is one young man's video is entitled, or, the emperor with no clothes parable is, what the hell you mean you weren't looking at circumcision? Okay, but I wanted to say that I had not heard back from Sally Johnson. So if somebody knows her, please ask her to send me a note. Thank you.